Good day, everyone. Here I'm demoing my final game project in my program at Fanshawe, in which we had to make a game and incorporate a bunch of components from different classes. So graphics, gems, just some algorithm stuff, physics. So I'm kind of blanking on the classes I just took now, but anyways, just a bunch of stuff put together. So I'm just going to jump in right with the demo, and it'll make explaining the technical side of things a little bit easier. I went for kind of a spookier horror game. Start here with the tutorial. Your render distance is cut off by the fog there. I know, lazy way of doing things, but it's fine. Basic controls here. Jump, sprint with left shift, look around with mouse, WASD, and the rules you kind of want to adhere to. So when you hear your heart start beating, you're going to want to jump into a hole, which will make more sense when you get into the level. So you walk in here, the ambience sets in. One of the most important things in a scary game. And we have these holes, which, as you can see, put me somewhere else. The holes use seamless teleporting, and they're all over the level. 3 of the holes take you to the victory. Anyways. And there's the monster. As depicted here on this. The level's quite big. I'm not going to explore it all, but I'll show you the ending, even though it's not it's nothing crazy. Monster's in a cooldown state right now. Just killed me, so 20 seconds. It'll just kind of roam around and not hunt me. But the ending is coming there. And that's the simple ending. The level down there, you can actually see the monster a little bit. And it's coming up to get me anyways, but that's alright. Let me jump into explaining the behind the scenes stuff for this. So audio-wise, it's pretty simple. I choose 2D audio. We have the footsteps, we have the ambiance, and we have the heartbeat, which starts ramping up when the monster chases you and gets louder the closer it is. So let me launch this editor version, which is a lot less scary because I disabled the fog. But I can show you how all this works. So all the boxes you see are the teleports. It seems teleporting actually wasn't too hard because I didn't deal with directions. I just dealt with kind of positional based. So every single pipe you see in the level is the exact same size, colors, orientation, and all the boxes you see in these pipes are at the exact same position in the pipes. So the light blue ones are where it detects that you're in them and teleports you to the dark blue pipes, or the dark blue boxes. So when it detects you're in this box here, it just gets the offset from the center of the box and teleports you that exact offset to the blue box, and it is seamless. That's yeah, that one's pretty simple. Not really much explanation needed. Those green dots you see flying around the map are just lights that cast specular lighting, so it lights up these cool specular maps I have on these walls gradually over time. Adds a bit more flavor to the empty facility levels. If I had a bit more time, I would have added more assets. The other thing you might notice is these blue squares on the ground. This is my naive nav mesh solution. So how these work is I just lay these out. It has a boolean I can set, which just is nav mesh. So then when I generate the nav mesh at the start of runtime, it just takes all those meshes that have the is nav mesh equals true and then sets up the whole mesh. So how this works is that so you can imagine all these squares are cut up into 2 triangles, but pretty much what it does is it detects if at least 2 vertices are within a certain range. So there's a little bit of lenience with it. As you can see, this one's a lot closer, and this one's a bit bigger of a gap, but they both connect properly. And they all, yeah, if 2 vertices are close enough together, 1, 2, they'll connect in logic. There's a few more other things I have for these, for the nav mesh here, like every single triangle. So the AI works based on what triangle it's on. So since each of these squares is made up of 2 triangles, it pretty much just goes from triangle center to triangle center. And each triangle has the data of the closest, or every triangle within 25 blocks and the direction to get there. And I always passed in my player triangle information because I always update on the player side. So if it detects that my triangle is within that that set of triangles of closest within its current one, it knows the exact path it can start taking to get to me. So yeah, every triangle has the nearest 20 or within the 25 triangle distance range built, like baked into it. The power of space in the modern day is a nice thing. There's not really much else to say about the nav mesh. It really just kind of goes to the center positions plus an offset, so it's not like in the ground, so slopes work really well. And it just kind of looks nice, especially for a monster that has that distortion effect. You don't really have to fine tune its movement because it just kind of looks pretty smooth because of the effect. Not have to worry about animation either. Yeah, I guess the last thing I can talk about, the fog I'm not going to talk about because come on. Last thing I can talk about is probably the coolest effect in this whole thing is the monsters effect. How I did this is I used Perlin noise, of course, I love Perlin noise, to displace drawing vertices based on the intensity of the lightness, so R plus G plus B of the Perlin noise. So I can Alt Tab here quickly and I can show you that texture I used. Just got it off Google Images, classic. Yeah, this is literally the monster's Perlin noise. Of course, I have that texture mirrored, so it's like there's no weird like lines or whatever. But say for like this region, let me find this region right here even, where it becomes a little lighter in the center. So I'll offset that more, and then as it fades out, it offset it less, and it creates these 3D objects, which are pretty neato. And I do some other stuff, of course. You can see there's a bit more to it. It's moving a bunch. It's kind of waving up and down. Those are just other parameters I added that work off of delta time. Nothing too special. And then all the colors are determined based on what's behind it, really. A lot of it's sky, clearly. But in the dark red level, this will be a bit scary of a red. Oh. Okay, I guess the program's over. It's fine. I was done showcasing that anyways. Physics, I did all myself. Of course, I didn't come up with the equations. I'm not a psychopath, but I did set up the whole capsule collision continuous hit detection, which is not super efficient, but it's efficient enough to get 120 FPS. I can just launch this again here. One thing I learned for capsules on slopes is, well, first you have to have like create some like airborne and grounded system, which isn't the worst, but like world gravity, if I'm in the air, it's obviously down, but when I'm on something like the ground, my world gravity is the inverse of the normal of the face I'm on, and it just works. So as you can see, I slide a bit, but then my built-in friction just like works, and I can run around this plane all I want. And I can make this plane steeper and still run across it up to like, I think 45 degrees I made it. But yeah, that's about it. All this rendering stuff is because I have so many meshes in this level. It doesn't run very well when I load them all at the same time. And with the fog, it just kind of works. Same thing with physics. If something's beyond a certain distance from me, I don't even bother calculating because again, performance and the UVs on this thing are a little funky, but that's fine. Yeah, they're like inverted. Yeah, anyways, enough of this noise, this droning noise. I think that about wraps it up. Not as long as it is I thought it'd be, which is nice. But am I really getting everything? Yeah, I guess so. That's everything. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for watching. If you want to look at the project underneath the hood, the link, if YouTube lets me post it, will be in the description. Otherwise, it'll just be my GitHub username and repository name. Check it out if you want or don't. Thanks for watching nonetheless. Peace.